I mean, is
Just
pasta the same as noodles? I mean, how far do the distinctions go? I'm just not in that world, you know?
I don't know, man. I would say pastas are noodles, but
Yeah. Yeah.
other people say no, and that's okay too.
Oh, you believe in coexistence. No one needs
Yeah,
to fight
man.
over these things, right?
No.
Mm.
If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But like other than that, it's okay. Let's just live life, you know?
Mm. That's a very thought-provoking, message about life that you can only get from thinking about the versatility and the ubiquity of noodles. I think there's a real lesson there.
It's a real lesson
Is
that
is it
most people need to learn.
is it just how food brings us all together to argue about other things?
Oh yeah, politics is one big
Oh, sure. Yeah, what is that? It's like everything's like the Thanksgiving dinner and the Christmas dinner. For some reason, like people are like more they want to talk about politics even more. They want to get into arguments even more. Why is that?
want to prove a point. I don't know. I've never actually experienced that,
Oh,
but I
really?
see it happen like on television. I know that that's a thing, but like I've
Mm-hmm.
never really seen that. It's more of like what's going on back home, or how's your life been? This is what other people are doing in your family, but not about politics and like how bad one side is over the other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's more about reconnecting with people you haven't been around for a while.
Sure.
Do you find it hard to kind of keep in touch with like extended family and extended family of extended family?
Honestly, yeah. Like even before COVID, like we're literally spread out. So it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to like get people together in like one space.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I know cousins that um well, they don't live in Canada, so I just never get to see them. And then I
Yeah.
have others who are like, oh, they live in 2 hours away, but they're kind of living their life and they're doing their thing. They might be married, they might have kids. And I'm just like, hey, like do you just go up and say, hey, you want to play video games, or you want to get some coffee? And they're knee deep in like diapers and childcare and mortgages. It's like sometimes it's intimidating making that sort of first move to connect with someone that you've known for a while, but you only kind of know them. And it's
Yeah.
kind of like,
Distantly.
yeah, yeah.
You
Like
see them
what?
grow with stories. Wait, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I mean, I guess like what makes us sometimes take that leap and reach out, and sometimes we're just like, whatever. I hope they're doing okay, and then you just move on. Like,
Yeah, that's like the positive, like more positive approach to it. Cause I know like some other people wouldn't think that way, but that's a good way to think about people within your family,
yeah.
whether they are um whether you are in a positive relationship or not with them. Still
Mhm.
want to think good things about them, regardless.
Yeah. Have you heard of these ideas of like, someone in the family, does something bad, or I don't know, they commit a very serious faux pas, and then they kind of get like ostracized from the rest of the family. Have you heard of this sort of stuff?
Yeah, like maybe not for mine, but like I have heard of that happening.
Yeah, that must be rough.
Yeah, and
Like,
like if what they did was like really bad,
mm,
you're like, whoa, I didn't know that was
uh,
possible.
right, right. It's like I didn't know Uncle Joey was capable of that, and you're just like, I knew Uncle Joey, and we would go on the Ferris wheel together, and then you're just like, oh
Yeah,
my gosh, I didn't know any of that was going on. That can be really kind of damaging, sort of long term, because like how do you trust someone who is just as likable or just as friendly as Uncle Joey?
Yeah, your whole perception changes. And like, who knows if that part of you can be fixed or not.
Do you think it's still worthwhile to trust people, even if you know that they can betray you in the end?
I'd like to think so. Like, you need to take that leap of faith. But at the same time, it is scary, but you do, if you want to get somewhere, if you want to reach something or you want to attain something, then yeah. But like, you would still have your boundaries set in place, but not so much that you're enclosed and directed by it.
Yeah, sure, definitely. I struggle with that for sure. Mostly like when I was younger. Oh, okay. I'm glad I have some company on this. When I was younger, my problem was more that I didn't really understand what it meant to violate a boundary. Or I was like, okay, I might be going too far, but they'll tell me if I'm going too far. So it's like, it's kind of on them if I'm doing something wrong here, because they didn't tell me. And then one year, I was making a joke about someone based on their racial background that I thought was an acceptable joke to make. But I didn't realize that I was actually hurting this person, and I was making them uncomfortable, and I was contributing to a sort of like a negative environment. Until someone was like, yeah, this person doesn't like those comments and just doesn't want to confront you about it. And then that just like totally like blew my mind. I was like, wait, people can like not want to confront me on something, but I'm like some loser. How can that work? That was a big wake up moment. I was like, wow, you can be more hurtful than you think, even when you're trying to be nice, or you're trying to be kind of congenial. That's kind of scary. It can almost like paralyze you. Could you like, what if I say something that comes across badly, or what if I hurt someone by accident? Because it's I guess it's just part of life. It's just kind of learning these things.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's on to someone else's expense. But
yeah,
at least you've learned. But that sounds so bad. It's just like saying like, "Oh, you did something bad. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry."
Oh, you ran the red light. Well, now for next time. Even though like you've caused a car accident in the middle of like Yonge Street, and there's like
that's
2
bad.
hours of traffic jams behind you. It's like, well, you learned your lesson. It's like actions still have consequences. And that's, you can't always clean up your mess once you've made your mess.
That is true.
I guess that's one of the really interesting things about real life, is that there are some video games where you can just save and quit and reload your save infinitely many times until you get the result you want. And you can't do that in real life. Like, you've made your action, you're not locked in, but you have to accept what happens as a result of that. And that can really paralyze some people, It's not easy.
Both metaphorically and literally.
Yeah, like you're at a fork in the road, let's say literally, and you're like, I don't know which way I'm supposed to go, and so it's like, well, you can't just crash into the divider, in the road. So it's like, what do you do? How do you decide to go left or right if you don't really know to go left or to go right based on the map that you have or anything like that?
Yeah. That's scary, man.
But that's such a cool premise for something scary, or like or an escape room, or you only have 30 minutes, and you can't backtrack. Once you've made your decision, you're locked in, you're stuck. And I guess you could make a really cool sort of adventure based on that, where you give, let's say within the context of like a role-playing game, that you're giving your players this illusion, not an illusion of choice, but an illusion of not having choice, an illusion of being screwed in any direction that they choose. But then secretly behind the scenes, you're like making it happen that, they're just barely escaping, or they're just barely making it out alive. And then at the end, there's some sort of climactic moment where they realize that all their decisions have been leading up to this, even though all the decisions they thought were terrible mistakes. And then they realize how everything fit together. You can make a really cool story out of that.
That's basically Spider-Man.
Like the comics?
No, like in the MCU, Spider-Man Far From Home, towards the end.
Is that the one with Mysterio?
Yeah.
Yes, handsome Mysterio.
That's pretty fun though. Using your spidey senses. This isn't sponsored, but like, yeah.
Yeah, hashtag spidey senses. Yeah, Peter, if you're out there, please, we could use the money. So just DM us. Yeah, it's like, could a superhero work in real life? I guess that's my question. That's my question to you.
That's whoa. I mean, I don't know. Because everyone's a superhero in their own way.
I mean, you're not wrong, I guess. But not everyone's like Batman or.
No. But
how different would our world be with a Spider-Man?
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. That would be really nice.
Right?
Like someone like Tom Holland coming around, like helping old people carry their groceries,
doing backflips.
Yeah, just for the fun of it,
right?
Just like having a show.
Yeah,
on like young Dundas.
Cool. Okay, yeah, and you just see him like swinging through.
Yeah,
that would be really cool.
And then there'll be a video of him on the CN Tower.
Oh yeah. Okay. He's like, hey guys. And he just snaps a photo with like the exact tip. Oh, that'd be so cool. He's like heckling the people on the skywalk, just doing the little circle around.
I'm doing this for free, guys.
$400 of Spidey silk. Totally worth it.
Totally.
I mean, I guess you'd have to consider like the economic consequences of someone who is just better at everything. Like their living expenses, but then also like how they would impact everything else. Like, would you hire Spider-Man to make you like adhesives? Like would Spider-Man in real life be anything other than a highly paid employee?
That's true. Or he has another job.
Yeah, does he have like a part-time job at like a McDonald's or something, just trying to make ends meet? And then,
or is Spider-Man his part-time?
Okay, so he works like 20 hours a week as Spider-Man, no benefits, like $15 an hour. So, but who pays him?
Oh yeah,
J. Jonah Jameson. He pays him for the material that he provides to the newspaper.
That's a good question. Or he makes money off of his videos on YouTube because he'll most likely have over 1,000 subscribers.
Oh yeah. He could monetize his channel. He could post tutorials for how to swing like Spider-Man, and then put a disclaimer at the beginning. Just a heads up, guys. Don't try this at home or at work or anywhere. You're probably gonna die if you do. I don't want to see your videos on Live Leak. Please just be safe out there. I think so Spider-Man. There's a Spider-Man video game for the PlayStation 4, and I think in the original one, he's part of it is that he's tutoring, I think Miles Morales, and in there he talks about how being Spider-Man isn't really that easy because like you have to learn to fight, but then you also have to learn all the math involved in the swings to understand all the trigonometry and the arcs and all that of this, like when to release, when to swing. That must be hard. Like you couldn't have a 10-year-old being Spider-Man unless they were like a savant. I mean, could you?
Maybe. Like there's so many 10-year-olds. I have so many, but there are 10-year-olds that make it to university.
There are a lot of 10-year-olds. You're right, Marianne.
No, there are 10-year-olds as a general statement that do make it.
There are 10-year-olds. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see where you're going. There do exist at least one 10-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
like, that's like a debate topic. Be it resolved that there are 10-year-olds. Then you just bring in like your little brother to the stage. It's like, I rest my case. I now stand for cross-examination.
Literally.
Oh, I guess you win that one.
Haha, touche.
It's like, you could have like 10-year-old Green Goblin. And then the Green Goblin's like, you and I are not so different, Spider-Man. And then he's like, are you in my math class? He's like, crap. And he like runs away. He's like, I'll see you tomorrow. Spider-Man. Spider-Boy. I could see that happen in the Adventures of Spider-Boy and Goblin Jr. Green Goblin the Second.
The Teen Avengers go.
Oh yeah.
There's
it's like
Teen Titans.
It's a sequel to Teen Titans. Yeah. You could bring in Cyborg and he could be like, you don't look right. Are you shorter? They just realize that they're all like half his height. That's a cool idea. My aunt is coming over from Iran, visiting me and my mom, and one thing I've been trying to do is to learn the alphabet, like the Iranian alphabet, which is kind of like the Arabic alphabet, but there are a few letters that are a little modified. And I'm trying to understand some of the syntax and a bit of the grammar, and I'm completely lost because I have this English default mindset, subject, verb, object. I do the thing, right? And now I'm trying to learn a language where they're saying, I thing the do myself. And I'm just completely lost. Can you, Marianne, how do you deal with languages that don't make sense to your head?
I don't know. Like for me, my brain works both in English and Tagalog.
Oh,
yeah.
You speak Tagalog?
No, my parents speak to me in Tagalog, so I understand, and then I respond back in English.
Oh.
And some words I say in Tagalog because that's what I know it as.
Mm-hmm.
So like a blanket is not a blanket to me. I have to say it like kumot, which is blanket.
Oh, okay.
That's the first word that comes to mind. It's not blanket.
I've heard of this where you'll have people who like speak 3 languages, and in their house, they'll just switch. They'll start the sentence in English, switch to French, switch to Italian, and then finish in like Norwegian. And you're just lost, right? You're like, what? And then the person responds starting in Italian or something, and you're just like, what is going on? How does this work?
Because
it's wild.
You need to go to program, man.
Yeah, I need to learn another language to kind of up my game as a an orator, as a master of the spoken word. I need to. I mean, can I call myself a master if I only know one language? Not really. I'm a jack of one trade.
It's better than no trade, honestly.
I mean, yeah, I'd rather be a jack of one trade than a jack of no trades.
I mean,
I'm like the three of clubs of one trade.
you can learn Iranian the way, what's this guy's name on BTS? The leader. I forgot his name.
Kim Park Jung?
No, hold on. I was just
Jung
cheating.
Tae Young?
BTS. Oh my gosh. No. This is so bad.
I mean, I think
RM. The rapper.
RM. That's all, it's just RM.
RM. He learned English by watching Friends.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
If there's a sitcom in Iranian that you can watch.
Okay. just put the subtitles on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's some terrible like soap opera, but like it's a man living with both his wives because that's legal there. Just seeing what the hijinks that ensue from that would be cool. That would be very interesting. I wonder would they add a laugh track or would that be banned? I don't know. I don't know how anything works over there. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember to hit that bell so you don't miss a single video. Thanks, guys. And don't forget to check our Patreon down in the description. I just hit my microphone. Marianne, off to you.
Bye, guys. Thanks for listening.